All right, let's see. Quickly, Lego. Yes.
Let's try this again. Yes, we're back and we see Lego. All right. So long story short, I've received the Hogwarts Hospital Wing kit from Fantastic Sherlock Fox. It's one that when we've been raiding into Marble Jade, she's been building that one. But when we finish this particular Hogwarts Moment book, then we shall have, once again, 3 choices for people to select which one they want next. Sorry, I'm laughing. The stream manager on my phone just popped up while I'm sitting in the stream manager, and it says, manage your stream directly from your phone. Click here to view. I'm like, I'm in that view, you goof. Anyway, okay, so we won't stay forever. Where are we now? 1, 2, 3, okay. I didn't turn the page. See, that's the thing. I try not to turn the page from one to the next, and that way I can figure out where I'm at. All right. So we've got a couple of pieces where we just set them across the top. Oops. So that they can build a second level of the shelving. Echo. Aha. Most of the time the mainstream mic can't pick up this far away, but sometimes it seems to. You never know. It's like it's really, really fussy. So if you get just the right spot, you're dead center, and it picks up everything. Which usually means then that I'm probably going to smack into it at some point. Because it seems to be just the right spot for some things, it's just the right spot to get bumped for other things. Right, now I'd like to know what these are, so we'll just have to get through it and see, because I don't have a clue. Now, see, am I fussy today? Yes, okay. How can I square this up? Squaring up little pieces is always a pain. The local brick shop local brick shop streamer says the same thing. He hates squaring up little towers of stuff. No matter how hard you work to get it just right, it never looks quite right. Okay. Those two, and then on the back they want 2 little, I call them blank cookies, because so many times I've had them actually be cookie designs. And by doing that, I put it off center. Or snapped it in half, even better. Come on. There we go. Close enough. Alright. Open that up and turn the page. Reach. Okay, what have we got? More towers. 1 and 2. Thankfully, these kits are nice and small, whereas if we go to do the hospital wing kit, I may actually have to pull a Marble Jade and start putting some of the pieces in bowls or something just off to the side, because I won't have enough desk real estate at that point to put things together on my desk. But there's a good amount that you're not seeing off camera, probably about a foot on either side, which helps. Good luck, Bobrine. I really hope that she does well. I can understand as a parent that that's really frightening. My parents were really, really frightened when they had to teach me, and I have no qualms about the fact that I'm going to be frightened when I get involved in teaching my kids. Fantastic Sherlock Fox may get saddled with it, particularly for my son, just because the two of them are a little bit more on the same wavelength as I am. I forgot a couple of pieces, so I need to rectify that. 1 and 2. There we go. All right. And then on the side with all the bottles, they've got... Oh, I see. Okay. This, I believe, is called the faux glass. But I think I may have called the bottom one that before, but I think it's the bigger piece. So what we're looking at is we've got a cone shape with, like, for lack of a better term, I've actually been calling it a frying pan for years. But it's a little, it's got a handle on a circle with a stud on the top, and then and then one of the studs that's on our circle with studs fits into the larger one, I think. Is that how it's in today? Yeah. And then they want you just to level it up. Now, the concept for the faux glass, if you've read the books, you'll be familiar with it, but if you're rusty or don't or have not read the books, the faux glass, I believe, is the one where the user can look into the mirror and see what one of their foes is up to and where they are. So there we go, that sits on the shelf. Reflects actually quite a lot in the lights, so I do apologize for that. Alrighty. And I think we can give it, just to check and see how many more. There's a few more steps before we can put it on anything. So I think I will give it one more and then call it for this bit, just so that we can get back to the purpose of why we're here. But it's just that putting this step on is actually giving me another support hinge for this build, direction, which means that it's not going to get quite so floppy in my hands and breaking easily. There we go, it's those two. And then I've got one more 2x1 that goes on the other end to match. Yeah, going to fold up nicely. All right, taking a quick peek here to see what's up next. Ah, they've got a good amount of stuff going on. Okay. So this is where we'll leave it for today, or at least for now, and get the server back on. Make sure that I have not had somebody on in between that keeps the time going and me be nice and dead, and I'll see you shortly. Grab the phone.
Sorry for the extra delay, just writing myself a really quick note here to double check my auto announcements of other streamers. Shoutouts. Because I think I have at least one that should be deprecated, and then I may be missing somebody who's out there currently on the Dadcraft 73 series servers. Gosh. Go, okay. As long as I'm not dead as soon as I turn on live. Pardon me. Loading train. We're in. And lo and behold, it's raining. And you're not seeing us in. Okay. Well, that's not good. I love you to bits. But this is not working stream. Game. There we go. So it tried to go back to the game settings I had yesterday. Aside from the overlay. Like, for some reason it saved position in between the two, so I don't know. Yeah, it's not that one wasn't a very new issue. It just, for some reason, the state it had saved when it crashed was the one I had just before I started, so it had today's overlay up, but didn't have today's game turned on.
Hello.
It was still set to show yesterday's game. Good evening, Creef. How are you today? I'm just putzing around in the Mangrove zone, just picking up this, that, and the other thing. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I want my shovel back. But just because I had not... Oh, those roots go down quite a ways, okay. Not going to mess with that too much because I don't want to end up in a hole. In trouble. What do we have? Got some stuff. Enough to actually definitely say that I've got samples, and I've got at least a stack of wood, which is a good place to start. So I'm told that I need at least a block, or one layer block of water to actually grow a mangrove tree. I've also... Oh, poor froggy. You're kind of stuck. You're not as stuck as I just said, but hey, if you want to go somewhere, go for it. But, between the roots in the mud and stuff, I think I could probably grow some of this stuff back at base. Let's see, is there anything else I should probably grab a lot of while I'm out here? Maybe some more roots? I don't know. Doing well, thanks. Had an uneventful day, just taking it easy forward. What, leave next? Ooh. I hope it's leave for a good reason. That you've got some positive plans. I passed on your comments, Grief, about... ooh, what was that? Oh. Passed on your comments, Grief, about poor language, learning poor language during a stream. And my son just looked at me like I had grown another head because he had no idea what you were talking about. He said, it's just a word. I said, yeah, but maybe it's a cultural context thing. You don't know. So don't mess with it. And he's like, okay, that's cool. I said, which basically means, in short, dude, next time you watch Creep, don't bring your tablet. He goes, okay, I won't. That's not a problem. But he just thought it was quite funny that he'd be told the word tantrum would be inappropriate to use. I said, well, it's probably translating in a rough, contextually safe way, and it may not actually be that direct a translation when you actually use it. Oh, I see. School holidays. Okay. So that would probably be then the equivalency of what we would call winter break. Because, of course, you wouldn't want to... Kids want a break, particularly when it's the coldest months. Our kids are starting their summer break, and appropriately being disorganized. Which I can't exactly say isn't hereditary, because I am very disorganized a lot of the time. So trying to get myself ready for stream this morning, try to get them ready for stream, and I completely... It was like less than 5 minutes till stream start when I realized I hadn't poured my coffee yet, which meant it was going to be super hot, and I'd be likely to do something dumb and go and burn my tongue on stream, which can make me say some choice words. So I was trying to be careful. 19 did do. But yeah, it was nearly 10 o'clock and the kids are hanging out, and one was still in their pajamas and the other one was playing with his Legos, and I was thinking, okay, come on. You two are going to have to be a little more self-managed than that this summer. And then, first thing my daughter says to me this morning is, what are we going to do today? Like she expects some sort of adventure every single day, and so I had to quickly disabuse her of that notion. That some days, Mom will still be streaming. Some days we can go do fun stuff, but that, and she's going to be sick and tired of having people telling her what to do by the end of the weekend, so I don't think she's going to actually be saying it like that too soon. So I could be wrong. You know, kids are kids. That's fine. That's fine. The summer routine this week has been a little off generally. For some of my other streams, I was able to, like yesterday, I was able to get myself adrenaline pumped enough to go because I was actually scared out of my tree to try and fight a boss of any sort on my own. It's not just Valheim. Most games I have trouble with that. So, like even in Minecraft, the Zerks are well aware that I have not fought anything that I didn't have to. On my own, even though I've been enjoying group activities. And it's... Every season I grow a little, right? So this season was growing a bit more in the builds category. Thus far, a little weak, but hey. And then... Oh. Hey, what did I just do? I have no idea what I just did. Interesting. So apparently I have a bedrock style switch for turning my... Huh. Okay. Sorry. Distraction there. I have no idea where I was going with that. Oh, that the kids weren't ready and stuff. I mean, that's part of my job as a stay-at-home mom. You think about it that way, and getting the kids going. So if I'm going to be lazy and pokey and laying around in bed, then they're going to expect that they could just hang out, right? So yesterday was a bit weird just because I told them I was going to be streaming. Yeah. And yeah, I told them I was going to be streaming, that they'd have to have breakfast on their own, and then I came down, ready to head down to my basement room to do the stream, and my son was flopped out on the couch, and I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Well, I've been waiting for you," and I said, No, you missed that." But he wasn't feeling well, so I gave him a bit of a bye on that. Oh, Fantastic Sherlock Fox, or whoever it was that actually just ran the quote of the day command, if one of the mods could please run new QOTD, then that one will cycle through and get us another question. I think we've dealt with the spell one a couple times now. It might randomly pick the same question. I mean, there is that, but I didn't. I've got a few in there, so hopefully it shouldn't. Oop. Okay. Scaffolding, you are usually a better buddy than this. There we go. What can you watch over and over without ever getting tired of it? So some people who have a favorite show, and they can watch that show ad nauseum without ever getting sick of it. And other people have different things. I mean, it could be stage play maybe, or a movie that you could watch over and over and over. And we're not talking Groundhog Day. So I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, there's lots that I would watch over and over, but not necessarily like close together. So I don't need a break, for example. A lot of the movies that are suggested with the movie group through Dadcraft's community are that way for me, as in I would watch them over again, no problem. But would I watch them back to back over and over? Probably not. Although I do like to watch movie series in one go. For example, like if I watched Back to the Future, then I get an itching that I really want to watch the second one, in Back to the Future 2, fairly quickly thereafter. Doesn't mean I always do it. In this case, I didn't, but I do itch for that. And TV series, it used to be Star Trek that I could watch lots of over and over, but of late I've run into just enough nerds about it that they're making it less fun to rewatch. And also some of the more modern series are pretty rough. Star Wars is actually becoming like that for me. I used to love the movies over and over, even the bad ones. But now that the universe has, for the last few years, been expanding quite a lot, some of the holes in the stories are getting filled, or backstories are getting filled, but some of the backstories feel like retcons to me. Like they're rewriting characters, and I'm not a fan of that, so we'll have to see. But for example, I could not watch The Mandalorian over and over again. That's not one that works for me. But some of the other series, I possibly could. Like, I have yet to see Kenobi, personally. I may see it at least once, but we'll see where we go after that, because some people say it may be very rewatchable, some people say it's not. Thank you. Go away. I'm not quite sure what the game was upset about. We just blah blah blah. Oh, I see. Okay. Yep. There we go. Okay. I mean, we'll have to see how that series goes. So many movies, very short. Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, they are. Like, there are lots of movies that I would watch over again, and just like Creef, a lot of the ones you mentioned would be on that list. But multiple times a day for a week, for me, usually that's musicals. Poor Fantastic Sherlock Fox has to deal with that on a rather regular basis. If I get into a kick for a particular musical, it's going to be somewhat ad nauseum. Come From Away is one of the ones, it's a more recent one that I've really gotten into that way. But I mean, Les Mis is one that I could do over and over and over again. However, I'm a bit of a snob in so far as I disliked the way the movies were done, for the most part. Eddie Redmayne is cool, but should never sing. Sorry. But the reverse, strangely enough, is true when it comes to the movie version of the musical Chicago. I could watch that one over and over again. But that's, I mean, there's only so much Renee Zellweger anybody can take. There was a time when I would have said don't get Fantastic Sherlock Fox started on Lion King, but I think it's okay. There's some story behind that, but he used to be part of a community where expanding that world in a fan fiction sense, and then role-playing those characters was quite popular. I mean, there's more to it than that, and I don't describe it well. Probably actually describe it rather incorrectly, but yeah, when I first met him, one of the things he did was he was a player and a mod op on, well, and host actually, of a series of servers that had some interesting role-playing, textual role-playing opportunities going on, and a good number of them were somewhat Lion King influenced. So it's been an interesting thing. And I mean, actually, we have our own story about Lion King. So my story about Lion King, I loved the movie to begin with, but how it affected us was when we first started officially dating. I mean, it was kind of see-through. We were sort of dating in advance. But anyways, long story made short, we were supposed to, like, I had volunteered to pick him up at the airport, and then we were going to go get some dinner, and then go watch Lion King when it got re-released into theaters briefly in, I think it was 2002, I believe. And the story to go with that was, long story made short, I went to pick him up at the airport, and we were trying to ignore the fact that we liked each other, I guess you could say. We were good friends, but yeah, we didn't make it out of the airport before we were smooching, so that's about as unfamily friendly as it's ever going to get, because there wasn't more to tell than that. But we didn't make it to dinner. We did make it to the movie, but we didn't end up making it to dinner, so yeah. That's my story for that one. Quick question though, Creef. I know it sounds crazy. What did you think of the computer-generated, more live-action style version of The Lion King? I'll be honest, haven't seen it. It's weird, the eclectic set of stuff I have or have not seen, but that's one of them. I tend to cringe when people do the idols for musicals. Part of it is that some of them think they can do the character, and some of them are absolutely dreadful. The exception, of course, being the one-off for, actually, okay, I find kids doing musical songs incredibly cute, and some of them are really quite talented. Yeah, I don't know if it's one worth watching or whether it's worth giving a pass. So if you have ever seen the trailers for some of the more computer-generated live-action, say, Jungle Book kind of stuff, the Lion King one looks very similar. I'll be honest, I'm biased in favor of Nathan Lane, who played Timon in the original version of the cartoon. And so nobody else really has ever held a candle to that performance. The other thing is I'm quite a fan of Rowan Atkinson in general, so his version of Zazu could not be beat. Jury's kind of out for me on whether or not anybody but James Earl Jones can do Mufasa. But, you know, that's just me being picky. It does seem kind of funny though when like one of the reasons, or one of the ways I was able to sucker my kids into watching The Lion King at one point was I told him that Darth Vader was doing the voice. He said, that doesn't sound very Darth Vader-y. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but it is the same guy. That's when I promptly decided that at that point they were too young to watch Field of Dreams, wouldn't get it, and wouldn't find it remotely interesting. Yeah. Yeah, the one that's supposed to be really realistic, and but it was computer-generated animals, based off of, I guess, models that had been studied a lot from, like, zoo and safaris that I guess the animators were sent on by Disney, and then they went and recreated those animals in CGI on computers, and then they had to try and make them say the lines and stuff from the original film, and your mileage may vary as to whether or not you think it was any good. I'm generally not a fan of animal movies doing that, like, you know, having animals say things.
Oh, hello there!
Hello, Benson! How are you doing today? So, we were just talking a little bit about, or at least I was going on a little bit about movies, and kind of went over to the, talking about the live-action-ish Lion King. I'm not generally a fan of animal movies where animals say things, like in English, you know, human words and stuff, but I do like, as a lark, I like some of the cheesy Pups movies. But that's because I know they're meant to be cheesy. Like, that's kind of the fun of it right there, is that it is cheesy. So Santa Pups and things like that work for me. But that's just, as I say, it's because I know they're meant to be kind of cheesy. I don't expect anything else. That's really probably what it is setting the bar for expectations to begin with. Okay, fave show. That works. So what would your fave show be? If I couldn't guess already. How about top 2? There. Because I might have a chance of guessing your fave show, Benson, then maybe top 2. It actually does make me vaguely wonder, though. Based on Fantastic Sherlock Fox's character name, would he ever consider multi-watching the media that influenced that name? Like mine, I might watch part of Babylon 5 again, but like a lot of the shows I watch, there are certain characters and certain storylines that I think I got enough of the first time around, even though they used to be my absolute favorite show. And then the second part of my name, Russell, comes from the movie Up. So I would watch that over and over again. If it came to TV shows, as I said, it used to be Star Trek. I'm not sure if there is one. We've had cable cut for a few years now, voluntarily, and I don't know if I have a favorite. Let's see. 11:33. Because of the length of the rail journey to get out here, I think now would be a good time for me to start turning around. And what I might do is, because the rail journey is safe-ish, I know I've left some scaffolding, but it's okay. Because the rail journey is safe-ish, but incredibly long, I might just get the character started and then flip over and give you guys another freebie few minutes of Lego while we're riding the rails. That might be a better idea. The SVU in particular. That's interesting. Honestly, I wouldn't have pegged that to be so. A nice surprise. Although I guess, in a way, I could kind of see it. So, you're talking Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Aha. It's funny. I saw an article recently that you might enjoy. It was more of an opinion, like BuzzFeed style piece, but the reason I think you might enjoy it, given this context, is that it was talking about the possibly negative lessons that our kids can get out of Disney movies. And Up did feature in that list. And it talked about crushing of your dreams. You know, you can hold a dream for a very, very long time, and then when you find out the reality, it totally crushes your dreams. So yeah, I can kind of see that. The other thing I find Disney does a lot is they wrench on your heart with the early portion of the movie. You know, killing off favorite characters or getting you really hooked on something, and then like one of the other ones I remember. I don't remember the name of the movie now. It's one of the recent ones. But in any case, they actually had like Manchurian-style characters basically become stone. And I remember some character names, but anyways, but you really like the parents, and you like the relationship between the father and the daughter and stuff as things start, and a couple of good friend moments at the beginning, and then lo and behold, Murphy's Law. The good friend turns out to be the adversary through most of the episode. Random fence post. Okay, sure. And so that kind of hurts. And then, of course, they redeem that particular character at the end through usual, aw, but that's so sad method. Grief is a winner. Not just on the King of the Hill, but he's a winner in general. That's a good thing. Okay, let's get back in. I've got enough bits and bobs that I can probably try farming some of this stuff. Experiment with farming it at the base and see how things go. Aha, it's still here. Excellent. As you can see, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, and it is a good long ride. Just ask DK Grapes. So once we get rolling here, I will head it over to a Lego screen, because I know it works. Yay! Alright, so we'll head to Lego, and I will see you shortly.
I guess I can't start yik-yakking and jibber-jabbering until I actually hit the Lego screen. Okay. Yeah, you guys should be seeing the Lego screen. Alright. Here we go. And if you hear squeaks and stuff, my chair does squeak, and I just keep glancing over my shoulder to see where we're at in the ride back, because it's a little bit long. Okay. I saw your message, Benson, and while I am indeed curious, I'm actually not going to pry. I don't think it's my place. So it's up to you if you decide you want to share, but I recognize that different people have different characters that have helped them a lot. My example, to go with that without any deep detail, because there isn't much to tell in this case, is simply to note that I used to absolutely love Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and not for any sense of reality or anything like that, or Jane Seymour or anything like that. It was just simply that the character kind of inspired me to push when I was getting glass ceiling behavior and misogynistic discrimination type of behavior. So that was the big thing, because that character wouldn't let anybody really tell her no, and she basically told them to go take a hike. So that was why I liked that one. What could I watch over and over again? Probably, actually, one of the other ones is the original. It was done as a television show, which is part of why I'm qualifying it that way. It was a multi-part. It was done as a mini-series, really, it's a movie, of, I think it's Sullivan Productions, who did Anne of Green Gables with Megan Follows. It's a Canadian thing, mostly, but some people in the US may have heard of it, and I could watch that one forever and a day. Ooh. Congratulations, Creef, for defending your crown. Creef is still champion of the hill. Alright. We are indeed still going sideways. Or sideways. We are indeed still going back to the other zone. The railcart trip is still ongoing, although at the moment I'm seeing nothing on that screen because the first part of the rail journey was a little bit like east-west, and then it turns north-south, and when things turn north-south, I didn't see anything, of course, right? I haven't changed it, so I'm just seeing my character's arm staring out at the blank thing. You can't even see the rail cart from where, or like the rails or anything from where I'm sitting. Okay, so we've got a couple of arches coming in here. I quite like these. I think these are going to be looking pretty good when it goes in now. We've got a couple of mount points on the back, so that implies then that it's going to stick to the wall of our build, and I'm actually quite curious to see what they're going to do with some of these pieces, because there was not a Lego sticker for 4 zones on the top like we have. So just like there isn't a sticker to go here. There's just one at the bottom, and then on the other side there's 2. So I'm actually kind of curious to know what they're going to do to decorate that up. So we'll just have to see. Okay, now we're into, after these arches, they actually want a couple of little sort of darker tan wedges on the top corners. Well, I just find wedges a pain in the butt to both pick up and to place, just because I find them an awkward shape that you can't help but get thumbprints or fingerprints on them, no matter what you do. I used to know somebody that, pardon me, that actually would insist on putting their Lego kits together while wearing disposable latex gloves. The problem with that, though, is that to get things to not stick, they often would have a little bit of some sort of like talcum powder dust on the outside. And so rather than having thumbprints on the builds, he was forever dusting them off afterwards. It looked weird to see him brush them because he was getting all the dust off. Okay, and then as you can see on the top, it's kind of wonky, a little off center. I can twist it, but it just doesn't stay. But that's okay, because the very next step is to put a flat bit with a couple of mount studs on top. And we are still traveling, so we'll go back as soon as we are done with the traveling. Or at least if there's anything to see. Aha! So this portion now snaps into the book. And it goes... Can I get it right? Okay, so I gotta line that up. Oops. Halfway through. Okay. Oops, that's not sticking very well. Come on, you. The upper mounts just don't want to go. I'm gonna get them to snap in. Hit, please. 1, 2. Oops. He's breaking it already. There we go. 3, 4. It shouldn't make a snap noise, but that's what it took. Alright. I'd say if that's all they're doing for decoration up top there, it's a bit lame, but I like the way it opens up. That actually does look quite nice. We're still traveling. Okay. Next up, we have starting to do more accessories. So we've got a trunk. They just want you to snap the lid on. Yippee! But there's, story-wise, for the trunk, if I can get the lid on, there we go. Inside, they're putting a couple of, actually just one, really, we always have a spare, of really hard to show on camera. I don't think that's going to focus properly. No, it's not going to, but that's meant to be a little teeny tiny person. So actually coloring on it, like the head is sort of peach color, and then the chest has color, and then there's some black on the leg. That's supposed to be Mad Eye Moody, the actual character. So basically it's, this will show maybe. Sort of, yeah, okay, so it's this guy, except in tiny, because they're referencing Barty Crouch Jr. had Mad Eye Moody way down at the bottom, what basically is like a Matryoshka-style set of nesting, yet very deep chests. So magical chest. And that's where he was plucking, or getting hairs from Mad Eye Moody to be able to make Polyjuice Potion, and so that Barty Crush Jr. could retain Mad Eye's abilities, I guess, or look, form. Oh, we're back at the part we see another whale. Just give me a quick sec.
So we're not quite back live. I can do a couple more Lego steps, so I'm just showing you guys now that we are still on the road. We have a few tracks connecting in now. Actually, I think I'll stay here instead, because we're back at the train station, so that was a good guess on timing. We're nearly home. It has occurred to me, I never did change my hat. That's okay. Yeah, the length is mind-blowing, and if you think about it, like, we haven't filled it up, though in theory we're getting close, but there is, I think he said, a maximum of 27 rail lines. And I was going to take a wander out to a shulker farm the other day, but once I got up to the end, I completely forgot which direction I was going and where from there. So at some point, I'm actually going to be that person who sticks a sign up going, if you're going to the farm, go this way. Because, or look for the green, or look for the pink, or whatever, just I'm... Yeah. They're working in the nether? No, I'm not actually working in the nether at the moment. That was Tuesday's chaos, was wandering around in the nether. But no, what we had done is we'd gone out on the rail lines to get to the mangrove forest, which is this one. And these are actually in one of those no particular order kinds of things. It's just sort of whatever line got hooked up wherever. So it's grown a lot. So we've got one space there, and it looks like 3 down there. And then we would need to expand even further, which looks possible, but I suspect it would take some reconfiguration of the redstone underneath. Maybe pushing this wall out. Yeah. So we will head back to base. I know we've had a few people pop in since we started, so I will just give you a quick run to show you the 10 rows that I got since Tuesday on the carpet art. Yeah, I can't imagine what I would do if that was... I don't have a horse that can go this fast, right? And as I mentioned, because I don't fly, I can't go this fast any other way. I know my base is one of the closer ones, so really I could just run it. But that's a waste of everybody's time. I find when I'm doing... actually finally put a sign on, just as I could. I find when I'm doing a particular game, you tried flying. You're telling me it wasn't any faster than going via rail? Yeah, so I didn't actually take a whole... Uh-oh. Did I? Okay, good. I think I freaked out wondering, did I actually leave the bed behind? Could have, and I wasn't sure if I did. Where was I going with this? So I find when I'm playing a game, I'll get hooked into that game and want to play that game. So for example, when I was doing little different pieces on whatever Wednesday for things like Riven or Mist or whatever, like that series, I couldn't do anything in between because there is no grindy stuff. It's just all figuring out where you're going, and it's all travel and maps. And so that was originally a great thing for whatever Wednesdays, because any extra work I did would all be exclusively on the Wednesday. But any extra work I did, would be for Minecraft. So things are great. You have to go? Okay. Have a great day. Feel free to drop by and say hi anytime you like. And if you've got things to do or places to be, I totally respect that. We're not that far from the end anyhow. in the mini map you may be able to see it, but I will show you the bigger one as well. We've got, there's the progress map so far. I'm going to turn on the reference. So you can see it on the right, and I just grab that. Nope. So we're getting closer. I'll just pull it in the center here. We're getting closer. You can start to see that we've got the arms. Now, that's actually a bad choice of image. See what I can. I'll show you the full book picture. So this is the cover of the book I'm using, a Rare Benedictine. Oops, I moved stuff. There we go. So this is for a Rare Benedictine, is the book that we've got. And you can see I just tried to do the second center part. I think instead of the white outside, I'll do that in Mangrove wood because I really like the red that's coming out of it. But in any case, yeah, I do quite like that series, and that's where we're at. When I get working on the carpets, I only get about 10 to 15-ish rows in a 2-hour stream. Yesterday I joined DC's stream a little bit late, and so the resulting effect of that was that I didn't get to see all of it. So I only got 10 rows done rather than more. I did a little bit extra afterwards, but I'll be honest, the musician that the DJ that DC rated was so interesting that I actually kept looking over to his screen and watching his displays more than focusing on the art. But anyways, the point of showing you the cover, actually, I'll just do it one more time. The point of showing you the cover was, make it big for a second. There we go. To see that, you can see that there isn't a whole lot of the other strange colors going like greens and stuff in the top edge. And those surfaced as a result of pixelating the picture because there's sort of some blues and whatever, and then looked for that. I recognized that the greens seem a little odd. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of opportunity if I'm insisting on sticking to carpet or like wool carpet, sorry, for doing the picture. So yeah, we're stuck with something a little bit bigger and not always ideal. But carpets can be a bit challenging to work with in terms of color selections. So that's where the greens come from in any case. Yeah, I think it is going to be, I don't know about the biggest. I'll have to check, actually. Let's see. Do I have it easily available? Nope. Okay, games. Craft ideas. New tab. Do I have room for another one? Okay. Out. Out. Close. Okay, so what I'm actually just going to quickly do here is add display capture. I don't normally do that. Which one? Is that the one? Yes. Okay, display one. Perfect. Close enough. We're getting like a everybody's seeing the same sort of thing. What I was going to do is show you this piece. I think everybody's seeing now. So you're probably seeing the pixelated version of what I'm looking at, and it looks a little bit like a cross stitch. So that one is 150 by 150. And Fantastic Sherlock Fox or Creef will have to let me know if that's exactly what you're seeing. It's supposed to be capturing that display, but it's on top of my OBS, so it doesn't help. No, you're not seeing that. What am I? The capture if I... Yeah. It's capturing the wrong display. Properties. Display 2. There we go. That's better. Okay. So there. So you're seeing the pixel art that I'm working on. So that's 150 by 150. I do zoom in to look at it. But I'm just trying to see if I have... So when I did the carpet art underneath my large chest on Bedrock last season, we were looking at 27 by 39. You can see that that's a lot easier to work with. Much, much easier to work with. Whereas the Ghostbusters logo, if I zoom it out, that one, can I read down in the bottom corner? Yeah, that one was 100 by 100, I think. I don't know why it's reverse numbering. Nope, 100 by 113. So you're right, this is the largest one yet, but that's the second largest one I did last season. Yeah. So that's where we're at. I'm just going to head back to open. There we go. Yeah, so it's not that bad. When I'm looking at it, I zoom in quite a lot. A bit more. This way I can see what the colors are that I'm working with. And then I can always turn on a little location piece where it can darken the bits that I've done, show me a rectangular box around the row that I'm working on, and then it's lighter off to the side of that. And you can choose whether or not you're going top to bottom, left to right, diagonal. Left to right doesn't offer you a back and forth option, but if you're going to top to bottom, you can actually have it follow like one side, then the other, and off you go. I'm just going to turn that one off. Oop, there. Now we see what's normal-ish. There we go. All right. So, yeah, you can see a little bit of it in the mini map in the corner, giving you an idea of how big I am compared to everything else, and that we've got, a set of illagers coming in. They're probably going to give me a bit of a hassle, but that's okay. Exactly, like when I increase the size of it, it's impressive. So I mean, even this one, think about the squares I had to work with, you can start to see the detail. But I definitely think looking at the larger map, switching the purple into black was probably the smart move. I've looked at other colors. For example, I wanted to get rid of the orange. It looked rather dumb, but we don't have a lighter pink to work with, so I couldn't actually lighten that up. And skies, I get this should not be pink, but it has to do with the sunset thing and then in minimizing the number of colors. So the other thing you can do in that one is you can tell it how many colors. Sheep Queen says you can see it from space. I'm not too surprised. One of the things you can do is you can let it pick as many colors as it wants, or you can also go in and tell Stitch Fiddle website. That's a free account, by the way, but you can tell the Stitch Fiddle website limit to a certain number of colors. You say 16, and then you can go in and pick and choose which ones you want. So if you end up with a bunch you want to combine into one color and manually choose which 16, then you could do that as well. Yeah. If I decide that I want to do like a standing art at some point, so let's say a statue, I have the option of like freeforming it, which is good, going the schematic like I did with the statues that exist, or if I'm doing one of my own design and it's not a schematic, the other thing I can do is do each side as a Stitch Fiddle art and then put them together. The things come out in sort of more of a cubic fashion. I can probably not. Yes, I like this shader's disabled feature. That is handy. Okay, so anyway, that's where we're at. We're just wrapping up the stream. I see a couple of alternatives available. Well, being it's a Lego day, I think I'm going to call it here. Flip it around. Say thank you very, very much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you all, and it totally blows me away. Yeah. So I'm always appreciative when anybody bothers to show up. I don't know how much work I'll get done between now and next week. I'm kind of on a kick where I may be enjoying Minecraft, or I may get on a bit of a Valheim kick. It's a 3-day weekend for us as well, so I have family commitments on at least one of those 3 days. So I will wish everybody a great weekend, and we shall do the usual, where I head to the end screen. And I want to say thank you very much to the Zerks for dropping by, for Fantastic Sherlock Fox as well, and Creef and Olivia Benson. They're amazing people. And I'm always pleased to have you guys as server mates and friends. So I will see you again on Tuesday. I hope. That's the plan. Same time, same Delenn channel, of course. And that will be 12 to 2 Eastern Daylight Time. So bye-bye for now. Oh, I forgot to mention, we are headed from here. We're going to raid Bruno because it's a Minecraft day. Other options were local brick for Lego or an emotional support channel. So I think we're going to go with Bruno today. So feel free to say hi, give him our best, and I'll join you in just a few minutes.
Mischief managed.
Transfer complete.